Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and in this video I will be explaining you a concept on operating system. This concept is asked in GATE questions as well as in many interview questions of the big IT firms. So now let's dive into it. So we have process state diagram. So whenever a process is created into the system, it goes through various steps for execution of that process. So I will explain all these steps with the help of this flow chart. Okay. So initially what we have, when the process is created or yet to be created, it is in this new state. So this new state shows that either the process is created or it is yet to be created. Okay, so all its creation is on the way. So either of these things can happen. So the process is in this new state. Now once the process is created, so it is moved into this ready state. In the ready state there are multiple processes in the queue. For selecting one process from this queue, what we need to do, it needs to dispatch one of the process onto the running state. And in the running state, it is executed for some times, and when execution terminates, it will go into this termination state. So this is simple flow of a process if there is no preemption and nothing is suspended. That is new, ready, running, and termination. Now the twist arises when the process in this running state requires some IO operation to be done, then it moves to this wait or block state. So in the wait or block state, there can be multiple processes running IO operations, and in the wait or block state, when multiple processes running IO operation, if any one of that wants the resources that is not available, then it is suspended and it moves to the suspend wait state. And after the resources is satisfied, it is again moved to this wait or block state. So basically this is the simple operation of running wait block and suspend wait for this IO operations. Now once the wait block is successfully completed for that process, the IO operation, then it moves to this ready state again, and it waits for its turn to again dispatch and move to the running state. Now when the process is in this ready state, needs some resources which are not available, then from this running state the processes are moved into this suspend ready state, and once the resources are available, then it again resumes and go back to this ready state. Now remember one thing, whenever the process move to the suspend ready state, it will move to the ready state only and not the running state. The dispatcher will decide which process to select and move it to the running state. After that, when the process is in this suspend wait state is there and its IO is completed, but the resources are still lagged, then what it need to do, it moves to the suspend ready state, and from the suspend ready state it is again get back to the ready state when the resources are available. So this is the simple process of suspending from the ready state or from the wait block state. And in the running state, there is a time when the process moved from the running state to the ready state. So the movement is done as I have explained it here also. So this movement of making the process shift from running to ready state is because of the priority or the time quantum. Now what the priority is, each process is assigned a digit that represents its priority. So if we have two processes P1 and P2 and the highest number represent the priority, so if we have priority of P1 is 5 and priority of P2 is 3, and if these two processes are there in this ready queue with priority of 5 and 3, and before P1 arrives to this ready state, what we have only P2, and P2 execute run for some time here. Now P2 is here with the priority of 3, and when the P1 arises now with the priority of 5, what it does is the process is moved from this running state to this ready state because the priority of P2 is lower than P1 and P1 is dispatched, and it will make run for some unit of time until next priority process came. So this is the concept of priority. Now time quantum. So time quantum arises in the round robin scheduling algorithm where we have, let's say, processes P1, P2, P3. Each process is assigned to run for 2 quantum of time in one go, and when this time quantum is completed, the process is moved from this running state to this ready state and wait for its turn for the next time, because each process is assigned some time quantum. For that time quantum it should be run. So for this priority thing and for this time quantum, the process can be moved from this running state to ready state. Now we have 3 schedulers. The first one is long-term scheduler. So the process of long-term scheduler here is to create process and bring the processes into the memory or the system. So for creating and bringing the process into the system, it is done by the long-term scheduler. Now the medium-term scheduler helps us in swapping the processes and move the process from ready to suspend ready state or from wait block state to this suspend wait state. So that's the thing which medium term scheduler does. And the short term scheduler, what it does, from this ready queue, the process that need to be selected is selected by short term scheduler and it dispatched and moved that process to the running state for execution. So that's the task done by the short term scheduler. One thing you need to keep in mind is the long term scheduler controls the degree of multiprogramming. So these are the things you need to keep in mind when you want to tackle any problem or question on this process state diagram. So these questions are also asked in interview questions as well, so prepare them accordingly. Write a notes for the same and hope to see you in the next session. Thank you.